FYI, for your information, for your inspiration, from San Diego's gospel radio station, the station with a local origination but a global destination. And this morning I would like to welcome to our studio Miss Zenaida Roy-Almario. She is the author of BRAGN, Be Real and Great Now. Good morning, Zenaida.
Good morning, Janice.
Well, it's a pleasure to see you here today.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yes. Well, you have an awesome book. I read it, and you have so much information for parents and adolescents to create effective communication.
Yes, it's called BRAGN, Be Real and Great Now, and the subtitle is Rhymes and Reasons to Inspire Positive and Proactive Communicating Adults. And although my main goal was to write it for tweens and teens, I have been told by many that it is very inspirational for adults as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But for myself, being the mother of 3, I find that this would and is an effective tool in just creating great communication. And you give us resources, and we can kind of write down some things that we can use to strengthen the family.
Definitely. That was very important to me, not to just, give the skills or the important message, but also to take it home and, take it to heart, and then giving examples, and then have them actually write out their own goals or their own situation where they want to clarify something with either their parents or a peer or somebody, at school.
So you make the book really interactive, is what I noticed. It's an interactive tool. And I'd like to know, I see your logo is a peacock.
Yes.
Explain why you chose a peacock.
Well, I have a love for peacocks because of how they represent themselves, especially the male. When they're looking for their soul partner, they, spread out their wings to, show the female all the good that they're all about.
And the beauty.
Exactly.
Yes.
The beauty, at first outside, but then also on the inside. And so that's where also the name BRAGN came from, because they're bragging, say, hey, take a look at me.
Yeah. You are multi-talented. Not only are you a writer, a poet, but I noticed that you even have a song in here.
I have some lyrics that
Yes.
I do want to someday, turn into music. There's an anthem for BRAGN.
Yes, I really enjoyed that. Okay, so I would like to ask you, Zenaida, what was your inspiration for writing this book?
My inspiration was from my experience as a teenager. I was struggling with self-esteem issues. Although I did, achieve things. And I hear that you're from Morris High School as well. Cause,
a tiger in the house.
Two tigers in the
right.
house.
Oh, that's exciting.
So, I did participate in activities. I was on the honor roll. I was even the editor of the Morse Code, the school paper. But at the same time, I had that feeling like, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I should not be in these advanced classes, just negative. And also tuning into MTV, there's a lot of shows on teen life, like 16 and Pregnant, and if you really knew me, or if you really know me, where this group goes to the school and talk about issues and concerns that the kids have on their minds. And so it just reminded me of my teen years and what I was going through, and they're still going through it today. So I just thought that this would be a good tool.
Yeah, because there is a lot of peer pressure, and we have a lot of problems today with at-risk youth. And I think that this book would really help parents and also the young people.
Definitely, there is a lot of peer pressure, and there's everybody has this need for love and acceptance. That's a primary goal in life. And so with peer pressure, wanting to be like their friends, kids sometimes will go towards the wrong direction, and then they perceive that their parents is the bad guy or the mean person. They just don't understand them. But actually, it's just, parent and child not knowing the rules of the games of life and the relationship that they want to have with each other. So bragging's a good way and a starting point.
It is definitely. I sent you an email because after reading the book, I said that you had the answer. You have the answer to help with so many young people. This is the answer, is to learn how to reach them, how to connect. And so this is why I'm very excited that you are here today. And what I'd like to do is, I'm looking at BRAGN, and I would like you to choose one of your poems. Okay? Choose one of your choice. I have my favorite in here.
Okay.
But I want you to choose something, and I want you to read it so our listeners can get a little taste of your work and what you do.
Okay. Well, since the family unit is a very important subject for me, and I think it's very close to your heart as well. And I think it's really important that kids understand where their parents are coming from for the most part. Sometimes it's, they're not perfect, but they do come from a place of love. So, on page 14 of BRAGN, there's a poem called Parental Love. And it goes like this. Parents' hearts come from a place of love that is unconditioned. It also comes with moral high expectations and deep convictions. They want you to keep them close as you venture into the world, hoping you'll remember the wisdoms to you they've shared and told. They hold close to the hope that you will stay on an ethical path, building relationships with love and respect and not unwanted wrath. Create your character with honesty, kindness, and a peacefulness, along with respect, responsibility, effort, and perseverance. Parents never want you to falter or fail in life as a consequence, so they build you up with a multitude of life's most important lessons. Success begins and ends in the conscience of your mind and heart. Carry these with you always as a promise of your parents' love to never part.
Now that is just totally beautiful.
Thank you.
And you keep it so comprehensive where a person could just really understand.
Thank you.
And that is very important when you're trying to convey a message, especially from either parent to child, youth, or from the youth back to the parent.
Definitely. That was the main goal for me. And this book, there's chapters. There's 7 chapters. And within the chapter, there's different perspectives on the topic. So there is a mutual understanding at the end of each chapter, and respect for one another.
And with each topic, you give a supporting poem.
Yes.
And I thought that was just totally creative.
Thank you. Well, I was just thinking back as a child myself, and when my kids were children, they're still children, but much younger, that when they were taught something, it was always in either a rhyme form or a song, because it was just easier to remember, and it resonated and it stuck. So I thought that would be a good way, to start teaching kids, life skills.
Yes. Okay. I noticed that you have in depth how important it is for a person to apologize or for someone to accept their apology.
Yes, because sorry should never be the hardest word to say. And if you love and care, for someone, you should be able to own up and say, hey, you know what? I was wrong, my bad, so let me make it right.
And that is also what God requires of us, is forgiveness. And that's a form of asking someone to forgive you when you say that you're totally sorry. And that is just right in alignment with the Word of God.
Definitely. And it's a way for you to grow and move on.
Exactly. Because a person that that holds a lot of unforgiveness in their heart, they actually don't realize that they cut off their communication with the Creator. You know, if you can't forgive, God can't forgive us. He requires us to forgive. And if we can't find that, to, like you said, to move on, to grow, because when you hold unforgiveness in your spirit, you're actually holding yourself hostage.
You sure are. You're blocking yourself from receiving success in your life because you're stuck with the negativities of your life.
So you're blocking your blessings, is what you're saying now.
Yes,
right.
definitely.
Okay. I noticed that you also have terribly shy to social butterfly. That is awesome.
That was me. That was me in high school, and I can see, having volunteered in elementary schools and junior high school and high school with my kids, I see kids that are very shy, and that's a shame because they have so much to offer.
Yeah, there are those that are introverted, and then so
yes, the poem is sort of lengthy, but it's like a story. It walks you through the life of a shy person, with the outcome of being a very social person if they put their efforts and right mind and heart into it.
Yeah, I thought that was really important because, believe it or not, sometimes I am shy. Sometimes it takes me a little while to kind of feel totally comfortable, but I have also experienced being shy, and of course, anybody that knows me knows I am a social butterfly to this day.
Yes, definitely. I'm pretty shy at the beginning as well. When I go to seminars and training sessions, I tend to arrive late, and I never really put into perspective why. And then one of my mentors and coach pointed it out to me that you do things for a reason because it benefits you in a way that you think is valid. And so I thought, well, if I'm late, I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to network, which was blocking me from success. And so I really thought that was an important poem to write.
Oh, definitely. Very important. Very important. I also noticed that you have School of Accepting Perception. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I was watching an episode of If You Really Knew Me, the show on MTV last summer, and, we do go to school, our parents send us to school to get educated, book-wise, but really as a student, we go to school to get educated on life, on social and,
life skills.
Life skills and being accepted. And, sometimes you're not accepted for whatever reason, and sometimes you're the most popular kid. And what this message is trying to say is, take time to get to know the different cliques in school. Don't stick to your own kind of people, expand your circle.
Okay. At this time, we'll pause for a commercial break, and we'll be back with more from BRAGN.
If you love the Lord, and if you're serving the Lord, you have to believe in every step.
You don't have to be leader. I know. You're amongst tigers.
You can pause it if you want to save some juice until we